Announcer bot is active. Nebojsa Brankovic from Serbia is P1. Brad White from England is P2. Nebojsa Brankovic is P1. Kronkavali is third. Nebojsa Brankovic is first. Kronkavali is third. Nebojsa Brankovic is first. Kronkavali is third. "35 minutes remaining in the session. Pachi from England is fourth. Nebojsa Brankovic is P1. Brad White is second. Timo Daniels from Italy is P5. Josarian from Croatia is P7. Mitchells from Czech Republic is 9th. Josarian is 4th. Fireball 412 from Germany is 7th. "30 minutes remaining in the session. Brad White is P3. Nebojsa Brankovic is first. Timo Daniels is 6th. Kronkavali is second. Fireball 412 is 8th. Pete Nichols from England is P9. Yas Arian is 4th. Mitchell's is 7th. Patchy is P7. Yas Arian is 4th. Timo Daniels from Italy is 5th. Patchy is 6th. "25 minutes remaining in the session." Yas Arian is P4. Kronkavali is P2. Timo Daniels is P5. Kronkavali is 2nd. El Garrido from England is 8th. Timo Daniels is 6th. Nebojša Brankovic is 1st. Patchy is P7. Timo Daniels is P6. Brad White from England is 5th. "20 minutes remaining in the session. Mitchells from Czech Republic is P2. Kronkavali is P3. Brad White is 6th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, from England is 9th. Pete Nichols from England is P10. Cavalli is P3. Pete Nichols is P10. Yas Arian is 5th. El Garrido is 2nd. Yas Arian is P5. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 9th. Nebojsa Brankovic is 2nd. Yas Arian is 5th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P7. Cavalli is 4th. Pete Nichols is 10th. Timo Daniels is 6th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P7. Timo Daniels is 6th. El Garrido is P1. Timo Daniels is 6th. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Brad White is P9. Nebojsa Sabrankovic is P2. El Garrido is 1st. Timo Daniels is P7. Fireball 412 is P12. Kronkavali is P5. Patchy is 10th. Yossarian is P2. Nebojsa Sabrankovic is P3. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, from England is 8th. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Yossarian from Croatia is 2nd. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P8. El Garrido is P1. Fireball 412 from Germany is 13th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P8. Yossarian is P2. Vaj Adamira from Czech Republic is 11th. Mitchells is 4th. Patchy is P11. Timo Daniels is P7. Kronkavali is P5. Pete Nichols is 12th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 8th. The qualification session is at Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, 6 USA. The wind speed is 16 km/h from the north-northeast. Kronkavali is first. Kronkavali improved is P1 with a 0:23.251. Mitchells is provisional pole with a 0:23.013. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, from England is P7. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, improved is 5th with a 0:24.013. 1.000 off pole. Paul Jewell from England is P7. Paul Jewell improved is 7th with a 0:24.036. 1.023 off pole. Nebojša Brankovic from Serbia is 4th. Paul Jewell from England is 9th. Paul Jewell improved is 7th with a 0:23.364. Point 351 off pole. Jos Arian is provisional pole with a 0:22.907. Timo Daniels from Italy is P10. Timo Daniels improved is 8th with a 0:23.548. Point 641 off pole. Fireball 412 from Germany is P11. Timo Daniels is 9th. Patchy from England is P11. Patchy improved is 7th with a 0:23.315. Point 408 off pole. Kronkavali is P3. Kronkavali improved is P2 with a 0:22.980. Point 073 off pole. Timo Daniels is P11. Timo Daniels improved is 10th with a 0:23.433. Point 526 off pole. Mitchells from Czech Republic is P3. Pete Nichols from England is P11. Pete Nichols improved is P9 with a 0:23.334. Point 427 off pole. Timo Daniels is 11th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 10th. Brad White from England is 4th. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Kronkavali is second. Fireball 412 is P12. Fireball 412 improved is 12th with a 0:23.634. Point 727 off pole. Brad White is P5. Paul Jewell is P7. Brad White from England is P5. Krong Cavali is second. Brad White from England is fifth. Krong Cavali is second. Fireball 412 is 12th. MR Ralph Mann, GBR, is P10. Fireball 412 from Germany is P12. Brad White is P5. Nebojsa Brankovic is P4. Patchy is P8. Paul Jewell is P7. Brad White is P5. Brad White improved is P2 with a 0:22.977. POINT 070 off pole. Patchy is P9. Patchy improved is P7 with a 0:23.227. POINT 320 off pole. Five minutes remaining in the session. MR Ralph Mann, GBR, is 6th. El Garrido from England is 13th. El Garrido improved is 6th with a 0:23.060. POINT 153 off pole. Pete Nichols from England is P11. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 8th. Paul Jewell from England is 7th. Josarian from Croatia is P1. Timo Daniels is P12. Timo Daniels improved his P11 with a 0:23.292. POINT 385 off pole. Paul Jewell is P7. Josarian is P1. Kronkavali is P3. Josarian is P1. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, from England is P8. Kronkavali is 3rd. Josarian is 1st. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 8th. Kronkavali is P3. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P8. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Kronkavali is 3rd. Brad White is P2. Pete Nichols is P12. The race session is at Martinville Speedway in Martinville, 6 USA. The wind speed is 11 km/h from the southeast. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P1. Paul Jewell from England is second. Vaj Adamira from Czech Republic is P3. Patchy from England is fourth. Pete Nichols from England is fifth. Timo Daniels from Italy is sixth. Fireball 412 from Germany is P7. Jos Arian from Croatia is 8th. Brad White from England is P9. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is first. Patchy is 10th. Vaj Adamira is 10th. Patchy is P10, 0.1 behind Vaj Adamira. Pete Nichols from England is 11th, 0.3 behind Patchy. Pete Nichols passed Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, for 8th. Fireball 412 entering the pits is P10. Pete Nichols is now 6th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, from England is P7. Vaj Adamira is P9, 0.3 ahead of Brad White. El Garrido from England is third, 0.3 behind Cronkavali. Pete Nichols is P7, 0.2 ahead of Patchy. Vaj Adamira on lap 6 is P9, 0.3 behind Pete Nichols. Pete Nichols on lap 6 is P9, 0.1 behind Vaj Adamira. Pete Nichols is now P10. Cronkavali is third, 0.3 behind El Garrido. Brad White on lap 8 is P8, 0.2 behind Patchy. Brad White passed Patchy for 7th. Patchy is 8th. Vaj Adamira is 9th battling Patchy. Nebojša Brankovic from Serbia is 12th, 0.4 behind Paul Jewell. Cavalli is P3, 0.1 behind El Garrido. Fireball 412 entering the pits is 13th. Brad White on lap 11 is P7, 0.3 behind Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. Nebojša Brankovic on lap 11 is 12th, 0.2 behind Paul Jewell. Brad White is P7, 0.4 behind Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Nebojša Brankovic is P12 battling Paul Jewell. Nebojša Brankovic passed Paul Jewell for P11. Paul Jewell is P12, 0.3 behind Nebojša Brankovic. Cavalli is third, 0.5 behind El Garrido. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 7th, 0.4 behind Brad White. Patchy is P8, 0.4 behind Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. Cavalli is P3, 0.4 behind El Garrido. Paul Jewell is P11, 0.2 ahead of Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. Paul Jewell passed Pete Nichols for P10. Pete Nichols is P11, 0.2 behind Paul Jewell. El Garrido is second, 0.5 behind Yossarian. Cavalli on lap 20 is P3, 0.7 behind El Garrido. El Garrido is second, 0.1 ahead of Cavalli. El Garrido lost P2 to Cavalli. Vojtěch Adamira is P8, 0.2 behind Patchy. Vojtěch Adamira passed Patchy for 7th. Patchy from England is 8th, 0.2 ahead of Nebojša Brankovic. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, entering the pits is 12th. Patchy lost P8 to Nebojša Brankovic. Nebojša Brankovic is 8th, 0.5 behind Vojtěch Adamira. Cavalli is third, 0.3 behind El Garrido. Nebojsa Brankovic is 8th, 0.2 behind Vajaj Adamira. Cavalli is P3, 0.5 behind El Garrido. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Brad White is P6, 0.4 behind Timo Daniels. Nebojsa Brankovic on lap 26 is 8th, 0.2 behind Vajaj Adamira. Nebojsa Brankovic lost P9 to Paul Jewell. El Garrido is second, 0.5 behind Jos Arian. Paul Jewell is P9, 0.5 behind Patchy. El Garrido is P2. Brad White is P6, 0.4 behind Timo Daniels. Timo Daniels from Italy is 6th, battling Brad White. Patchy from England is P9, battling Paul Jewell. Patchy passed Paul Jewell for 8th. Ralph Mann, GBR, exiting pits. Nebojsa Brankovic is P10, 0.1 behind Paul Jewell. Cavalli is P3. Timo Daniels is 6th, 0.4 behind Brad White. Nebojsa Brankovic is P10, 0.4 behind Paul Jewell. El Garrido is P3, 0.7 behind Cavalli. El Garrido lost P3 to Mitchells. Timo Daniels is 6th, 0.4 behind Brad White. Paul Jewell is P10, 0.2 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Timo Daniels is 6th. Paul Jewell is P10, 0.3 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Nebojsa Brankovic is P9. Paul Jewell is P10, 0.2 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Nebojsa Brankovic is P9. Five minutes remaining in the session. Paul Jewell is P10, 0.5 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Nebojsa Brankovic is P9, 0.4 behind Pachi. Paul Jewell is P10, 0.9 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Nebojsa Brankovic is P9, 0.2 behind Pachi. Nebojsa Brankovic passed Pachi for 8th. Pachi is 9th, 0.3 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Paul Jewell is 10th, 0.5 behind Pachi. El Garrido on lap 45 is 4th, 0.4 behind Kronkavali. El Garrido passed Kronkavali for 3rd. Pachi is P10. Pachi passed Paul Jewell for 9th. Paul Jewell is P10, 0.1 behind Pachi. Paul Jewell passed Pachi for P9. Paul Jewell lost 9th to Pachi. Pete Nichols is P11, 0.1 behind Paul Jewell. Pete Nichols passed Paul Jewell for P10. Vajj Adamira is P7, 0.6 behind Timo Daniels. Cavalli is P4, 1.1 behind El Garrido. Vaj Adamira is 7th, 0.3 behind Timo Daniels. The leader has just finished the race. Yas Arian finished first. Paul Jewell finished 11th. Vaj Adamira finished P7. Nebojsa Brankovic finished P8. Fireball 412 finished 12th. Mitchells finished P2. Pachi finished P9. El Garrido finished P3. Cavalli finished 4th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, finished 13th. Brad White finished 5th. Timo Daniels finished 6th. Pete Nichols finished P10. The race session is at Martinville Speedway in Martinville, 6 USA. The wind speed is 1 km/h from the south. Timo Daniels is P1. Vaj Adamira from Czech Republic is P2. Krong Cavali is P3. Brad White from England is P4. Mitchells from Czech Republic is P5. El Garrido from England is 6th. Josarian from Croatia is 7th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, from England is P8. Fireball 412 from Germany is P9. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Timo Daniels is first. Brad White is P9. Pete Nichols from England is P7. Pete Nichols is now P9. Josarian is P10, 0.1 ahead of Vaj Adamira. Josarian is now 8th. Patchy from England is P9 battling Vaj Adamira. Patchy lost 11th to Fireball 412. Patchy lost P12 to Krong Cavali. Brad White is P2, 0.1 ahead of Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. Brad White passed Paul Jewell for P1. Patchy entering the pits is 13th. Paul Jewell from England on lap 4 is second, 0.2 behind Brad White. Nebojša Brankovic from Serbia is third, 0.3 ahead of Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is fourth, 0.2 ahead of El Garrido. El Garrido was 0.7 faster last lap. Josarian is P6, 0.2 ahead of Mitchells. Josarian is now 5th. Mitchells is P6. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 7th, 0.4 ahead of Vaj Adamira. Vaj Adamira is P8, 0.1 behind Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR. Pete Nichols is 11th, 0.3 behind Fireball 412. Nebojša Brankovic from Serbia is third, 0.5 behind El Garrido. Josarian is 5th, 0.1 behind Paul Jewell. Mitchell's is P6, 0.1 behind Yossarian. El Garrido is second. Nebojsa Brankovic is P3, 0.5 behind El Garrido. Mitchell's is P5, 0.3 ahead of Yossarian. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Yossarian from Croatia is P6, 0.2 behind Mitchell's. El Garrido is second, 0.2 behind Brad White. Nebojsa Brankovic is P3, 0.1 behind El Garrido. Mitchell's is 6th, 0.2 behind Yossarian. El Garrido is second, 0.2 behind Brad White. Nebojsa Brankovic is third. Paul Jewell is 5th, 0.1 ahead of Mitchell's. Mitchell's is P6 battling Paul Jewell. Mitchell's passed Paul Jewell for P5. Paul Jewell is P6, 0.2 behind Mitchell's. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is 7th, 0.3 behind Paul Jewell. Nebojsa Brankovic is second. Mitchell's is P5, 0.1 behind Brad White. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P7, 0.3 behind Paul Jewell. Mitchell's is 5th. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, is P7, 0.4 behind Paul Jewell. Yossarian from Croatia is third, 0.4 behind Nebojsa Brankovic. Mitchells is 5th. Mitchells lost 5th to Paul Jewell. Yossarian is P3, 0.3 behind Nebojša Brankovic. Brad White is P5, 0.1 ahead of Mitchells. Mitchells is 6th. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Brad White from England is 6th, 0.2 behind Mitchells. Kronkavali is P8, 0.4 behind Timo Daniels. Nebojša Brankovic is P3, 0.3 behind Yossarian. Mitchells on lap 28 is P5, 0.1 ahead of Brad White. Timo Daniels from Italy is P8, 0.2 behind Kronkavali. Timo Daniels is now 7th. Mitchells is 8th. Timo Daniels is 7th, 0.3 ahead of Mitchells. Mitchells is 8th, 0.3 behind Timo Daniels. Brad White is P5. Mitchells is P8, 0.2 behind Timo Daniels. Brad White is 5th, 0.3 behind Paul Jewell. Kronkavali is 6th, 0.4 behind Brad White. Timo Daniels is 8th, 0.4 behind Mitchells. Kronkavali is P6, 0.2 behind Paul Jewell. Kronkavali was 0.9 faster last lap. Paul Jewell on lap 35 is P6, 0.2 behind Kronkavali. Timo Daniels is P8, 0.5 behind Mitchells. Cavalli is P5, 0.6 behind Brad White. Mr. Ralph Mann, GBR, entering the pits is 11th. Mitchells is 7th. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Cavalli is 5th, 0.3 behind Brad White. Mitchells is 7th, 0.3 behind Paul Jewell. Cavalli is 5th, 0.4 behind Brad White. Cavalli passed Brad White for 4th. Brad White is P5. Brad White passed Cavalli for 4th. Cavalli is P5, 0.1 behind Brad White. Brad White is P5 battling Cavalli. Mitchells is 6th. Mitchells passed Cavalli for 4th. Cavalli on lap 43 is 5th, 0.2 ahead of Brad White. Brad White from England is 6th, 0.2 behind Cavalli. Paul Jewell is P8. Paul Jewell passed Brad White for 7th. Pete Nichols is 10th, 0.4 behind Fireball 412. Fireball 412 is P10, 0.1 behind Pete Nichols. Cavalli is P5, 0.4 behind Mitchells. Fireball 412 is 10th, 0.3 behind Pete Nichols. Cavalli is 5th, 0.1 behind Mitchells. Fireball 412 is 10th, 0.5 behind Pete Nichols. Mitchells is 5th, 0.1 behind Cavalli. Brad White is 8th, 0.5 behind Paul Jewell. Cavalli is P5, 0.1 behind Mitchells. The leader has just finished the race. El Garrido finished P1. Yossarian finished 2nd. Nebojsa Brankovic finished P3. Pete Nichols finished 9th. Cavalli finished P4. Mitchells finished 5th. Timo Daniels finished P6. Fireball 412 finished P10. Brad White finished P7. Paul Jewell finished P8.